All right, guys. Milner Trapper here. Let me show you my trapping station. I take this thing. I created this little system here. In this one system, I make S hooks, J hooks, swivels, my snares. I do my maintenance on a lot of my traps right here. The whole 9 yards. And then you can see the top of it, I've mounted a piece of steel right here. That's where I do my hammering with my nuts and stuff like that. I keep all of my stuff for making my swivels and my nuts and washers, my locks for my snares, everything in this one container here, that type of thing. But let me show you how I got this. I make my own earth anchors. So I take steel, some metal, some steel, and I drive me a point on it like that right there. I take a piece of wire, and I hammer a nut on it right here in this spot right here. I've got on the other side my hammer mounted on there so I can do my hammering. All right. This thing is light enough. I throw it on the back of my truck when I'm going somewhere. Have it on the back of the truck if I need to work on something right there on the spot. I have a spot here to tell me exactly the length I want to make my earth anchors. Here in Georgia, we have a lot of red clay, so I don't need 2 foot long anchors. This is about 16 inches. If I drive 16 inches into this hard clay, you can pull your truck out of it with this right here. I make my own, make a loop on it. This is 7 by 7, 3/32 cable, aircraft cable. Easy to work with. This is also what I make my snares out of. I mean, I've trapped beavers with snares with that same cable. People say, oh man, you need to go up on size on cable. No, bruh. I'd rather use the smaller. It works out good for me. So these are my earth anchors that I make with this setup. Also, these are the, I make these connectors here. I go right through my trap on the swivel. These are for coons. Hammer it on there, go to the other end, and I have a swivel with a washer right there for so it swivels around. Drives. You can. What I've been doing with these is I've been making little. I guess it's a portable pocket. I guess that's what some people call it. It's where it's got a pipe on the top. You drive the stake in, and it's got, you bake that. I'll show that one day, but I mean that's how this is all happening on this one setup here. I'm still sitting here, and what I've done here on my swivel maker. All right, so what I've done is I've got a piece of pipe here, the size of the holes I want to deal with. All right, I got a piece of a nail, pretty good sized nail right there, and I put it into this hole like so. I take the wire like this, and I line it. See, it's all the way through. See, all the way through. I take the wire like this. All right, I got it like that. So now once I have it like that, then I place it over there and go through the center, and you can see, and I get it on there real good, like that. Okay, I don't have to worry about it. And once I go, I mean, I get it started. You can see here, you hear them chickens hollering. That dude loves chasing them chickens. He don't kill them, but you can see how easy it is for me to make my swivel. See, I made my swivel right there. For example, this is one of my swivels I make with it right here. And all you do now is just take the nail out and trim it up. And that's what you get, the final product. This is without the J hook that I make in it. That's what I get. Nice swivel, just like this, and that's, I mean, it's all attached right here. Keep turning it around. This is where I make my S hooks and my J hooks out of nails. So, I mean, I got these S hooks that I make. I drove into this piece of tubing that I have, and I put it in this clamp, this vise. I position it in there correctly. Easy, pretty easy to where it catches like that right there. And I take these pair of 9s and I just bend it this way, take it out, flip it over, bend it the other way. Simple. These J hooks, same way. I stick it in there. And the good thing about, I make my hole in my swivel small enough that the end of this nail sticks in there perfect, where I ain't even got to worry about it no more. So what I do, if I'm going to put a J hook swivel in like that, I will, before I tighten it down, before I put this last bend in right here, I mean, I can bend it out now and stick it in there and bend it back, but I make sure I fit it in there, then make my bend right here on this right here. What else? I make, like I said, I make my snake, I make my snares here. Same concept here. Same aircraft cable. I've got my swivel on the end right here, like so. A nut. I've got that washer there, so it has this, and I have this whammy, they call a whammy. You can use a piece of a tube or whatever. I've got the lock in there, and I also have a little nut in there just in case a deer walks into it. It can pull its hoof out. But how I load the snare also, I use this to load the snare. So once I get my loop, I use that one time and it creates, I load it. So it's loaded. And that's pretty much it, guys. And anybody can make this thing. I mean, it's just wood put together up high enough for me to sit down on a stool or something and work. This is my steel to hit the nails on. I mean, everything I need to work on my traps, except for a couple of things, maybe a welder and stuff like that, but I don't need that for what I'm doing here, is right here on this, and it's portable. I can literally pick this thing up. It's not too heavy that I can't pick it up. I mean, I pick it up, throw it on the back of the truck. I've got it with me, work on traps or swivels or whatever right there on the spot. If I'm off somewhere doing something that I really feel like just working on traps instead of participating in the activities, I go out to the truck and snatch this off and go to work. All in all, I mean, everything I got on here, I work construction, and on the construction sites, you'll be amazed what people throw away. This wood, this tube. The only thing I purchased, literally, I'm no joke, the only thing I purchased on here is this vise right here, and the head on this hammer. And I bought that at an auction for $1.50. I went to a store that has a bunch of weird stuff in it, and I come across this vise right here, and they sold it to me for $1.50. So we're looking at like $3, man, and my time put in it to create a little system here to do all the work I need to have done, and for $3 or $4. I mean, yeah, you can go out and you can spend hundreds of dollars on by the time you buy a bender for a new vise, a bender, this, which is a separate piece for your S hooks and J hooks. A swivel maker. You're going to spend for, I don't know how much for that. Some steel plate to put down. You could, if you didn't have a steel plate, you could use this part right here. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, a holder. I mean, by the time you're looking at a couple of $200-300 system right here, I spent $3 or $4 on. It's all about. To me, trapping is about what can I do myself, you know, and I mean, yeah, I could probably go out and purchase these things, but man, I feel better about doing the things that I do, creating the stuff myself, and yeah, guys, that's it. I mean, swivel maker, S hook, J hooks right here, hammer for hammering. You know, my nuts on everything, a little platform, a vise, you know, I mean, what more can you ask for, guys? I appreciate you watching the video, and it's been rough trapping season because of the rain, and that's why I'm working on stuff today, because it's just too wet, man, and I appreciate you watching. Leave me a like, thumbs up, thumbs down. Hit me up on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for watching.